Hey everyone, Jamie here with Sweet Pickins. Welcome to our kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. So here in Northern Nevada, we have been breaking records for heat day after day. It is only May and we're hitting the 90s already, and it's absolutely crazy how warm it is. So today I wanted to make a really yummy sweet treat. So I got off of work, I had to run a few errands. So I got comfy and I'm doing some chores, and I decided I want to make a strawberry Frappuccino. So I thought I would bring you guys along. What a yummy treat. This can just be like a treat for you during the day, or you can make it for the kids, or you can just make it for a barbecue or a get together. This is absolutely a winner. So it's very easy, simple, doesn't take a ton of ingredients. The only thing you're gonna need is a blender, and we are doing ice, so make sure your blender can actually cut through the ice. So let's make a strawberry Frappuccino. Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna need is milk. Now, this works best if you use whole milk. However, we don't really buy whole milk. We buy 2% milk. So we're just gonna use what we have. So use what you have. 2% works just fine. It tastes absolutely perfect. I think you're just getting just a richer flavor with a whole milk. So you're gonna want 1.5 cups on this. Okay, so throw in 1.5 cups of milk. All right, then you're going to want 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I am out of my homemade vanilla. I have already ran out. So this year I'm going to be making more. So soon be watching for that video, because I am actually making, I use so much vanilla in Hello Sugar, my baking business, that I just go through it like crazy. I did not make enough this year, and I definitely want to do this for gifts this Christmas. So watch for that video. So you're gonna want you could tell I always go over a little bit, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It's a very generous teaspoon. Okay, then you're going to need sweet condensed milk. So this is a 14-ounce container. You're gonna only use half of this, so it's 7 ounces. If you want to be precise, you can measure this out, or you could just do what I do and just eyeball it. I actually already made a batch, so this is, half of it's already gone. So we're gonna just use the other half of this. However, we want all of it. This is so rich and is really gonna elevate your strawberry Frappuccino. So make sure you get all of this out. It's just like caramely goodness. That's what it looks like. So it's just a half a can. You can find this in the baking aisle at your local grocery store. You could see, look at how much was still left in here. I just buy the Great Value brand. There's name brands, but honestly, there's no need to spend that extra money. This is just good enough. Perfect. Okay, so after you've done half of a can of condensed sweet milk, you are gonna want 4 cups of frozen strawberries. Now, we have strawberries outside, so what I do is I harvest our strawberries, I wash them really good, I clean them, I cut them, and then I put them in bags, like a Ziploc freezer bag in the freezer for smoothies and for treats and desserts and all the things. So I have a generous 4 cup of frozen fresh strawberries. Now, these have to be frozen for you to get that Frappuccino feel. So make sure you do freeze it. So that's 4 cups. All right, then you're going to need, the last thing is a cup of ice. So I just grabbed some ice out of our fridge, and you're gonna throw that in. Now, I have a Vitamix here, and the Vitamix literally goes through anything. So you're really gonna wanna make sure that your blender will handle the frozen strawberries and handle the ice. So I don't know if this is gonna happen, but sometimes it does. It just gets bogged down because there's not enough liquid. You can always add a little bit of milk. So make sure you leave that out. So let's turn this on. getting stuck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit of milk, just a little bit, maybe a quarter of a cup. Sometimes what happens is the ice gets stuck down below. I think the ice or the strawberries are stuck down on the bottom. There, I unstuck it. Okay, you're gonna wanna mix that for a couple seconds to just really see. But let me show you how thick that is. Do you see how thick that is? It is super duper duper thick. So what I like to do is, if it's too thick, like I said, you can always add a little bit of milk. It just depends. Like my strawberries were frozen through. So I just like to go through and just make sure all the fruit is completely, and it seems like it is, it's completely, you know, ground up and blended up and all the things. So I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a touch more. I'm just wondering if it's because my strawberries were like in the deep freezer, so they were extra frozen. Because honestly, I usually don't have it get stuck like this. Okay, so I think that's good. So you just have to play by ear. There's no right or no wrong. Okay. So you guys know we use mason jars around here. So what I like to do, I mean, it is nice and thick. This is absolutely what you guys will find at Starbucks. So they actually use Vitamixes over at Starbucks too. Our kids worked at Starbucks. 2 of our kids worked at Starbucks. And between the 2 of them, they worked at Starbucks for a total of 11 years. Our daughter just left Starbucks last week after 5.5 years. So it's kind of an end of an era for our family. So you can see it's thick. If you don't want it this thick, this is definitely a total treat. You can not make it this thick, but it's almost like a milkshake, but it's fresh. And then of course, just get a little whipped cream, throw the whipped cream on the top. I always like to finish mine off with these lids because they look so pretty. And then here you go. Look at that. So just know if you're like, we actually have a deep freezer here, and stuff gets like insanely cold. So you may not have that at home, so it may not be a total issue, but ours were like completely frozen, like frozen hard. So I think that's how it gets bogged down. But you can see, let me show you, like this is how thick it is. It just comes, I mean, it's nice and thick. So this is a really fun little treat, but let me tell you guys something else. This could totally be turned into ice cream. So now all you have to do is take this and definitely put it in the freezer to get fully, you know, completely frozen, solid, and then you can scoop it tonight for, you know, some treats. If you want ice cream, you could throw some whipped cream on it, some chocolate, some bananas. You could even do some fresh strawberries over the top. But look at how cute this is. The presentation alone is just fantastic. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on our small YouTube channel. We appreciate it so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you have some friends or family that you think that would like our little, you know, our small little channel, we would love for you to send it to them too. Don't forget we have a website, shopsweetpickins.com. Also, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. You just have to type in, because we put stuff up there all the time. So you just have to type in Sweet Pickins Reno, Pickins Reno. You can find us there. Our stories are loaded every single day. I'm gonna actually do a cool little some videos and pictures of this and throw this on there. And then I'm gonna upload the video. So now you guys can make yourselves some strawberry frappuccinos from your strawberries in the backyard, or go get strawberries from the store and wash them up. Try not to buy frozen. Try to buy fresh and then freeze them, because guys, it's amazing. The flavor is so much better. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video.